Again, we want to say thank you to everyone who's taken the time, especially with our time changing and it's getting darker outside and colder. You know, we really appreciate you making the effort to be here. I just want to ask for your consideration of our extending the Martin Luther King Jr. Way through the city of Kent and Renton as far as we can. And we have these petitions on the table. I don't know if you were able to get one, but if you signed in, I can send you by text message, I can send you the form, the petition and all of that on your text message. And I think it's a worthy cause because we live in the Martin Luther King Jr. County. And in my mind, as it was in my mind when this first came about, I was sitting at the light up at Petrovisky and Benson, waiting for the light to change. And all of a sudden, I don't like to say stuff like this, but a voice spoke to me and said, how many cities in the state of Washington have a Martin Luther King Way, Martin Luther King Boulevard, or Martin Luther King Street? And I thought about that. I said, I don't know. So I called, at that time, Senator Kaufman, Claudia Kaufman, and I said, I repeated what I heard, and she said, you know, I was thinking about the same thing. I said, oh, okay, we need to start working on that. We need to put some feet to this. And we all got together, myself, Senator Kaufman, and Representative Mia Gregerson, and we started the conversation, and lo and behold, the information was passed along. It did not make it through Senate at that time, but the Washington State Department of Transportation picked it up, and now we're working towards the finish line to get this to happen. And it will be a memorial renaming. We're doing it that way so that businesses don't have to change their addresses, folks don't have to change their home address or any of that. It would be a memorial sign above whatever the street name is or street number is. So we won't have to do all of that. The city of Kent won't have to pay for anything. The city of Renton won't have to pay for anything. So we're just looking for some support on this. It will be the Martin Luther King Jr. Way. So if you didn't get a copy of the petition and the explanation, I will make sure that I send everyone a text message with the link where you can go and sign the petition right away. All right? So I would appreciate that. Support is always good, but I believe it's going to happen. You just have to be positive, and thank God for right now Mia Gregerson and the Department of Transportation in Olympia. All right. So we're going to move on to our final panel. Mr. Carson is going to come back and ask some more wonderful questions. Can we give the moderator a hand? Yes. The moderator has been doing just fine. And also, we'd like to thank our newly appointed timekeepers. We have Davion, okay, and Heaven is here. Heaven is here with us in the room. And we're so thankful for them. They are with our member Bridget Paul, and it was just kind of a last-minute thing, and they stepped up to the plate. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All righty, so I'm giving it back to Mr. Karsten.
Thank you. Okay, this panel consists of county candidates, and we have Stephanie FAIN, Peter KWON, Maya
VENGADASLAM.
Thank you, and Claudia Balducci. So we'll start with, I did. We'll start with an opening, a 2-minute opening statement from Claudia Balducci.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for doing this. Thank you for inviting us to come and speak to you. It's so important that when we have the opportunity to vote for our elected officials that we have an opportunity to know who you're voting for. So this is very meaningful to me and I appreciate the time. My name is Claudia Balducci. I am running for King County Executive. Dow Constantine has been our county executive for 16 years and he has stepped away. So this is the first leadership change at the highest level of county government in almost 2 decades. If elected, I would, if you can believe it, be the first ever woman elected to this position. And that may not be the most important thing, but I'd be very honored to be that person. A little bit about me. I come from a family of public servants. My mother is a retired elementary school teacher. My one and only sibling, my brother, is a firefighter, and my stepfather was a retired court officer. And I myself have worked for county government for over 25 years. And I am committed to county government and local government because I believe that when we do our jobs right, we make people's lives better. We make it so that people can have housing, so that the water is clean, so that the air is clean, you can get around on roads and by buses, that it's safe community because we provide public safety. We provide elections and courts and all kinds of services at King County, and we need to be the best partner to our cities that we can possibly be. All of the candidates we've had here tonight for City Council and the leaders from the City of Kent are working very hard for your community, and the county has got to be a strong partner in all of the things we've been talking about. I would be so honored to earn your vote for to be your next county executive and to be that partner to the City of Kent and all our cities in King County. Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maya VENGADASLAM. I'm running for King County Council District 7, and that's encompassing Federal Way, Auburn, Algona Pacific, Milton, and south of 256th and Kent. It also includes about 34 unincorporated areas of King County. And my husband and I have lived here for the past 33 years. We've raised our son through Auburn and Kent schools. Currently, I am a leadership development consultant for Washington State School Directors Association. The reason I am running for King County Council is to bring my experience and background to District 7. Our District 7 has markedly changed over the years with not only demographics, but in addressing the needs of the constituents, especially in unincorporated areas. So the reason I'm running is primarily to consider the needs of unincorporated areas, as well as looking at our fiscal responsibility and challenges that we have ahead of ourselves. By background, I'm an accountant, and I have worked in process management for the Housing Authority, Tacoma Housing Authority, for the past 6 years. I have owned and managed a nonprofit and a for-profit business. I have run for the school board, Kent School Board, and have served 8 years, actually carrying the district through 8 years, 2 years of very difficult financial recovery period. And I bring those experiences to King County Council, and I'm very excited to join and participate in what's happening in King County. I thank you for having me here, KBAC, and I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. KWON, please.
Thank you. So thank you for having me here. My name is Peter KWON. I was actually born in Seoul, South Korea, and immigrated to the U.S. when I was 3 years old, landed in New York City, and so grew up there. I ended up in King County to attend the University of Washington, majoring in computer science, and Bellevue College for networking systems. And then ended up getting a job with Boeing, Microsoft, and the tech industry. So I've been in King County for over 35 years now. The last 10 years, I've been a council member in the city of SeaTac, and I'm a current council member there now. During that time, we have actually improved SeaTac quite a bit. So SeaTac currently has online more affordable and workforce housing, brand new units, per capita than any other city in the entire state. We have also created better economic opportunities, and more new businesses have opened up during that time. We also have increased human services funding and a lot of social services and community access and improved parks, increased green space. There's just a whole laundry list of stuff. But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm running for King County is because it's an open seat. The current seat holder is not running. And so a lot of folks asked me to step up, and as a result, I decided, okay, well, I think it's time to bring some of the benefits that we have created in CTAC for the rest of the county so that other cities can also benefit. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. FAIN?
Good evening, everyone. Sorry,
Yes.
is that on now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here tonight, a Saturday night in Kent Commons. Thank you to KBAC and KWON and Charles, and these two have the most important job, and that's to make sure we don't talk too long, so thank you for doing that. My name's Stephanie FAIN. I'm running for King County Council in District 5. That includes the city of Kent. I'm a longtime South King County resident. I lived in North Auburn for a number of years, and so was in Kent quite a bit, helping out and volunteering with groups like Kent Youth and Family Services and PIC and the Kent Chamber. I've moved to Normandy Park to be with near my husband's family, and then my whole family moved there, so I live within a mile of my entire family. I'm a mom of 2 boys, a working mom. I'm a healthcare and employment attorney. I volunteer on the PTSA and in the classrooms, and I coach youth basketball. I'm running for King County Council because South King County really needs and deserves to have resources and investments returned to us down here. For a really long time, resources tended to stay in Seattle, North King County, and East Side. Sorry, Councilmember Balducci. But we really need to have more investments here so we can support our working families, our seniors, our small businesses, and our community organizations that really make our neighborhoods strong. So I'm proud to be building a really big coalition of people, including Congressman Adam Smith, Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland, and current King County Executive, King County Council members, and just a big tent of folks who want to work in partnership and collaboratively with the King County Council and all of the 6 cities in District 5.
Thank you. Okay, we'll begin with the questions. Initially, I had developed questions for King County Executive, that race, and the King County Council members. But due to changes, I am going to kind of mix those up a little bit because they do kind of apply to both positions in the long term. So, starting with Ms. Balducci, public health is another critical issue and a threat due to changes at the national level. With Washington State as the primary authority governing health in this state, what is King County's role in promoting public health?
Thank you so much for that question. King County has a very large role in public health. We are the provider of a number of public health services, including things like immunization and travel health and public health for people who can't afford to have any insurance. We provide the county hospital, Harborview, under contract to the University of Washington Medical Center. We provide public health clinics, and all of these services have struggled with adequate funding for a long time, and at the risk of being a bummer here, it's about to get worse. Because if the federal government proceeds to cut Medicaid the way they propose to cut Medicaid, people who have got access to care and coverage will stop having coverage. Many people will stop having coverage. By the way, just to pile on, if they also proceed to cut housing vouchers and SNAP benefits, we're going to see a dramatic increase in poverty. People will lose their homes, they will lose their health care, they will lose food, emergency food access. King County needs to step up. The next set of county leaders need to do whatever we can do to support people in need. We need to think about taking some of our very generous human services funding and putting it towards emergency support in the event that these things come to pass. I was proud to support funding for Harborview to keep both Harborview operating and our public health clinics operating. It is going to be very challenging to maintain the level of service we have without asking the voters for more money. But it is a discussion the next executive is going to have to lead, because it's going to be a real crisis if the federal government proceeds with the cuts that they are anticipating.
Okay, thank you. The next question is for Ms. FAIN. Public safety is concerned countywide. What reforms or investments would you prioritize to improve safety while maintaining accountability in law enforcement and the justice system?
Thank you. I was really hoping for that public health question because I forgot.
You asked her question and her my question.
I think that's right, because I happen to chair the Harborview Medical Center board, so sorry about that. I was really excited. Public safety. So the King County Council recently passed a criminal justice sales tax, 0.1%. That's $203 million for the next biennium, the next 2 years. It is dedicated to making sure that the $175 million of cuts that were going to happen to our general fund and criminal justice systems, the prosecutor's office, the sheriffs, the Department of Public Defense, all of those things would not have to cut their funding. So really that sales tax really just helped beef up our reserves in the general fund. And then it leaves $28 million for other public safety services. So the council is debating that right now. I will say that what is really important is that all of our cities have fully staffed law enforcement, that there are enough folks out there to help in crises, but there are also other needs. The King County Prosecutor's Office did not get a single prosecutor added in this proposed budget. And if that were to stay the same, that means there's going to be 67 more public defenders than prosecutors, and prosecutors review all of the 10,000 cases that are referred in from the 39 cities, and then they decide to prosecute, and then they prosecute those as well, which means they have really high caseloads. So I would want to make sure that our prosecutor's office receives the funding it needs to continue to do its job. Kent is a big utilization of the prosecutor's office. There are 16 public defenders just for Kent. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, next question goes to Maya. How would you strengthen collaboration with city governments, tribal nations, and regional partners to address shared challenges?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I think one of the things that was very important during my term with the school board was the opportunity to work with our nonprofit sector, because we recognize that schools can't do this work alone. And every local and state organizations, we have to work together to address our ongoing challenges that's coming up with housing, our financials, our budgeting, property taxes. All of these issues require collaborative efforts, homelessness, public safety. There is no way that we can do this without that. So one of the things that I've looked into is looking at our grants and our nonprofit work that's happening in our county. We have hundreds of millions of dollars going to community organizations. I want to make sure that it's allocated appropriately to the districts. We have now ways of determining how much money is going at a zip code level, but we don't really understand how our district, at a district level, how those funds are allocated. And so we have to really match the need with the funding. And I think that involves a lot of data-based decision-making and looking at information on a very regular basis, assessing, and making sure that we're appropriately providing services. So if cities have human services commissions that are distributing funds to our organizations, or to our communities, we need to see who's double dipping, who's triple dipping. We have to make sure its resources are used wisely and making sure that it's equitably allocated.
Okay, thank you. For Mr. KWON, economic opportunity is uneven across the county. What role should King County government play in supporting small businesses and creating good paying jobs?
Okay, so I do have some direct experience with this, especially during the pandemic when a lot of small businesses were struggling during the shutdown. There were actually two grant fundings available through the federal government. The first was the CARES Act funding, and then the second was the ARPA fund. And during my term on the SeaTac City Council, we prioritized supporting local small businesses during that time. And one of the challenges that I found very quickly was that a lot of small businesses, in fact, most small businesses don't have the capacity to fill out these applications, the right way, and even know that this is available and all of that stuff. So we really, really prioritize focusing on direct outreach. So we had staff members, and even myself included, I went out and I visited all of the businesses and I said, hey, we've got this available, go to the website, here's the link and all of that. If you need help to fill it out, let me know. We've got staff who can help you. So King County has a lot of grant funding and a lot of support opportunities. I think the largest challenge is getting that information out, especially to South King County business owners who are, many BIPOC and just don't have the capacity or the ability to seek out this information themselves. So the outreach should be the priority, and once the outreach is there, then we can focus on making sure that they go through the process and have the assistance available to them. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Now, to Ms. Balducci and Ms. FAIN, that first question I asked was not a gotcha question.
Oh, no, I know, we were just joking.
It kind of turned out to be a reverse gotcha. But what I'm going to do at this point, like I said, some of those questions was for the executives.
Of course.
Okay. But, Ms. FAIN, could you expound? Do you have any comments concerning that question? Would you like me to repeat that question?
The public health
Yes.
one? Yeah, could you repeat it one more time?
Yes.
Sorry.
Public health is another critical issue under threat to changes at the national level. With Washington State as the primary authority concerning health in the state, what is King County's role in promoting public health?
So Councilmember Balducci handled a lot of that. The King County owns 13 public health clinics that provide a lot of services to our community. With the Medicaid cuts that are coming, I think we're really going to need to look at expanding our partnerships. So 7 of those public health clinics are currently operated by other providers, Health Point, Neighbor Care. And it's much less expensive, and they still continue the good work of providing healthcare services to our community. So I think that we should look at expanding those. She mentioned Harborview, and I chair the Harborview Medical Center Board. It's a $7 billion hospital that provides $100 million of free care to residents each year. Harborview is going to be really impacted by those Medicaid cuts. So the continued partnership that King County provides to Harborview by passing that property tax, it's very small property tax that does a lot of good. Harborview is building a new tower so that it can continue to provide healthcare services in a safe and healthy way by providing single patient rooms. Most of the rooms at Harborview are double room, 2 patient rooms. So it's really important to pivot now and look at expanding partnerships, because things like Valley, with its primary care closures, are because it is really expensive to provide primary care. So all healthcare providers should really be looking to partner together so that we can survive these cuts and survive what's coming, because it's only going to get worse. And I don't mean to say that to scare you, but it is really, really important to work together.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next question, we're going to go back to Maya. Climate change impacts our region through extreme weather, wildfires, and flooding. What role should King County play in climate resilience and environmental sustainability?
Yeah, I have to admit that this is not an area of expertise, but I think one of the things that I'd want to know is understand what's happening in King County, working with the departments, and understanding, what has been effective and what has not. It's not an area of expertise that I have, so I can't really expound on that.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Balducci, King County Metro and Sound Transit are vital to residents. What is your vision for the future of transit, and how will you improve service reliability, affordability, and safety?
Thank you so much for that question. You can't see it here tonight because I didn't bring one, but if you could see my campaign sign, it's got a train on it. This has been my mission since I started in public service, to complete a full rapid transit system for this region. We deserve it. We need it. People rely on it. I have been on the Sound Transit Board since 2010, and I have been pushing to expand the buses and the light rail. I am very proud to have worked with my colleagues at Sound Transit to open the light rail in my district in East King County before the bridge was ready to go. But let me say, if you drive across that bridge tonight, you'll see a train going back and forth because they're testing, and we're going to be open very soon. But the deal is, if you're going to open in part of the region, you have to serve all of the region. I know that this part of King County has a lot of people who rely on transit and who use it very, very well. Last night, I took a reporter out on a ride on a bus at midnight. We took the A-line from International Boulevard in Tukwila to Federal Way. That bus was packed at midnight, and it was not with Mariners fans. It was packed with people going home from work, people getting on at the airport, leaving at the end of the day, at the end of their day. So we need to deliver this system. I was proud to work with the mayors of South King County. We're going to open Federal Way, Kent, and Highline stations ahead of schedule and on budget in December. So you will have light rail in those new places. But we do have a very big challenge because the next set of investments from West Seattle to Ballard to Everett to Tacoma are way over budget. And we're going to have to figure out a way to still deliver those while meeting our budget. I've been a leader on reform. We have a reform effort right now that is starting to work on moving the projects faster and saving money. And now we are looking at bigger ideas. My biggest idea, we're taking a look at whether we need a second tunnel in downtown Seattle. If we can run the whole system with one tunnel, we can save $10 billion and have better connections and open sooner. These are the sorts of ideas I'll bring as county executive to make sure we're delivering on transit for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kwon, King County is facing a housing affordability crisis. What specific policies would you support to expand affordable housing and prevent homelessness?
In the city of SeaTac, number one, we don't have any homeless encampments. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. Number two, we have built more affordable and workforce housing per capita than any other city in the entire state of Washington, which is also hard to believe, but it's true. Most or all of these new construction homes are right by the light rail station for true transit-oriented development. And in order to do that, we actually had to incentivize the developers. And so what we did was we used the state's MFTE, multifamily tax exemption, as a tool, and we also provided some additional incentives for a quicker permitting process and local partnership As a result, we have a whole bunch of new development that has come in, and I encourage you to drive down International Boulevard, Highway 99 or Aurora Avenue, as some of you might know it, especially around the three light rail stations, and you will see this new construction and existing construction already there. King County needs to take an incentive here and provide the incentive for developers to do the same thing, especially on areas that are available near transit centers. And so that's something that is near and dear to me, and I know that that affects everybody, especially in South King County, because we are getting priced out of the area. So this is something that I believe King County can step up in order to incentivize better affordable housing development. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Now it's time for closing statements from the candidates from the panel. 90 seconds, and we'll start with Ms. FAIN.
Well, thank you again so much for being here tonight, and KBAC and Gwen and Charles, really appreciate it. I'm running for King County Council again because I really believe that we can bring resources and investments and programs and services down to South King County. And I really think that we should ensure that we are providing services and opportunities for everyone in our community, our youth with workforce development, and our minority-owned and women-owned businesses. There's a lot of good policies that the county has that can be expanded and grown upon to really bring businesses back, especially here in Kent. I've spent my career solving tough problems. I've mentioned that I chair the Harborview Medical Center Board. I'm a healthcare and employment attorney and a working mom, so I have 2 boys, so I know how to solve that. No, I don't. But I really believe in working hard to make sure that we are providing affordable housing, that we're providing safe and healthy neighborhoods, that we're really building up our business community and filling those holes in our communities like grocery deserts and pharmacy deserts, and making things more accessible for our seniors and working families. For transit, the east-west connection would be really, really important for folks in Kent, particularly those on the East Hill who want to get to the amazing light rail station. So Stephanie FAIN, running for King County Council, would love your support. Thank you.
Mr. KWON.
Thank you. So at the end of the day, what everybody wants, when I went out doorbelling and talking with folks, and I go to community meetings like this and I talk to folks, at the end of the day, what people are looking for are actual real solutions to community problems that exist in their communities. And so in CTAC, I have delivered all of that. What I have always focused on is delivering real solutions, tangible solutions, not just talking about the problems and theoretical ways to solve them. I've actually worked to deliver solutions, deliver actual real life scenarios where people see something and they can actually know that this is working for everybody. So I also have working relationships over the last 10 years with many elected officials, including local city council members and all county council members and state representatives and senators, and also all the way up at the federal level. So as a result, I have cultivated all of these relationships so that we can all work together to deliver solutions that work well for everybody. And at the end of the day, that's what elected officials should be doing, representing communities, showing up, listening to problems, and delivering solutions. So that's what I'm going to do at the county, and I hope to earn all of your votes. Thank you.
Thank you. Maya.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here this evening. I'm running for King County Council to make a change. We've had 30 years of the same leadership, and nothing wrong with the leadership, but I believe in change. I believe in change. I believe in term limits. I think it's important we have fresh perspectives when it comes to making policies, when it comes to providing solutions to policies. It's really important that we bring our experiences to the table. I think given our challenges, it's very disheartening for some of us to hear all of the different issues we're facing. But I think as a collaborative, we can come together and resolve it. I did that in the Kent School District. We were in a very difficult position for 2.5 years as president. I helped to turn our financial recovery period into one that is transparent and effective. And so I ask for your vote in this position, and I will promise you that I'll work across differences and work very hard and not pretend to know everything. I will listen and learn from others before I answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I made a little joke before. This is my 7th candidate forum this week, my 3rd today, and it really was a joke because honestly, this has been the most smoothly run candidate forum of many this week, and that's due to all the great work you all have put in. I used to run them myself, and it's not as easy as it looks. I think that the people who know how to make local government work for the people of King County are the ones that are closest to it. I have 20 mayors in this county who have endorsed my candidacy because they believe that I will be the best partner for them to be serving the people right here in the local communities, including Mayor Ralph of Kent, and many, many other local elected leaders in law enforcement, leaders in housing, leaders in transportation. I will, as King County executive, pursue initiatives to address retail theft, to address gun violence. We're working on these already today. And invest in young people's success, because we can't arrest our way to healthy communities. We have to invest in the future. I want to say, I have a colleague on the King County Council who has an honorary designation of a road in his name in Federal Way. If we can do that, we can honorarily designate this road for Martin Luther King, and I've signed your petition tonight, and I'm going to publicize it because we should absolutely do that in the county that is named for Martin Luther King Jr. Ballots go out next Wednesday. Please be on the lookout for them. Please consider all of the great candidates you've seen tonight, and I hope to earn your vote. Thanks so much.
Thank you all.
How about another hand for all of the candidates? Yes. Thank you guys so much for taking the time and spending the time.